Japanese tank destroyers are coming to the game, and today I'm going to show you everything there is to know about the tier 8, 9 and even the tier 10 Japanese Tech 3 tank destroyers, as well as tier 8 premium one, which we are most likely going to receive first. But before I'm going to show you this behemoth Hori 3, which is the tier 10 Japanese tank destroyer, let's start with the tier 8 and let's see how they improve tier by tier, what is upgrading, what is getting better, what is getting worse, how they are improving overall. So this is tier 8 Hori 2, which looks like a mix between Ferdinand, Jagdtiger and also SU-100Y with its very boxy turret, and overall they all are kinda similar, but the front of the armor gets stronger and stronger. Simply by looking at the pictures at least. But this one comes with 400 alpha damage or 515 with high explosive, 250 penetration with standard AP, 285 with premium AP, so it has both AP rounds, and 80 with high explosive. So penetration numbers for a tier 8 definitely should be enough, and the high explosive penetration is actually quite meme, I would say so, versus lightly armored tanks and some light tanks as well. Now, it is going to have 11-second reload time, which equals 2181 DPM. So 400 alpha, 2.1 or almost 2.2 thousand DPM. Aiming time 2.3 seconds is not bad. Dispersion 0.35, not bad either. But you know, it is a tank destroyer. It is not going to be the craziest sniper simply by looking at that. -8 degrees of gun depression, definitely interesting and good. 15 degrees of gun elevation, and it has the 11 degrees gun arc limit. While you are standing still, you can turn your gun 11 degrees to the left and 11 degrees to the right without moving your hull. Gun traverse speed 28 degrees per second, and ammunition capacity 40 pieces. So this is the firepower of the Hori. Nothing really shines over here, I would say. Maybe the most surprising thing is -8 degrees of gun depression, because, you know, at first glance this tank didn't look like it could have -8 degrees of gun depression, but it does. Okay, moving on. Mobility, 30 top speed, 15 moving backwards, 650 horsepower engine, 16.2 powered weight ratio, and 32 degrees per second hull traverse speed. I would say, honestly, mobility, kind of what I was expecting. Not great, not terrible. Bang in the middle, I would say so. Survivability, 1400 hit points, hull armor 220 in the front, 50 on the sides and 50 in the rear. Now 220 in the front, like, not much to tell about that without seeing the 3D armor model. We have to wait for that. Like versus tier 8s, tier 9s, tier 10s, let's not even talk about tier 10s, it is still going to struggle. But something I would like to highlight over here is the 50 side armor, which is very, very bad actually. Because this tank design, if it is 50 everywhere on the side, it gets penetrated so easily by all the high explosive rounds. Intuition is meta skill on loaders now, so everyone can load in like tier 60 plus 75 penetration high explosive rounds and bang you on the flat armor plate which this tank has on the side. So this could be a bit of a problem for this vehicle, and the rear, same goes to the rear of the tank, but for the overall armor we still have to wait and see for the 3D armor model. It's a tier 8, so don't expect much anyway, either way. 380 meters view range, which is noise, and signal range 750, who cares? It is going to have 6 crew members: commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and 2 loaders. And actually every single tank in this Tech 3, what they released so far, tier 8, 9 and 10, have the same crew layout. Thank you for that. So this is Hori 2, tier 8 Japanese Tech 3 tank destroyer. Moving on by 1 tier, this is how Hori 1 looks like in tier 9 position. Firepower, we are going to get quite a bigger bunch. From 400 alpha damage, we are upgrading up to 650 extra 250 alpha damage, or 840 with high explosive. 290 millimeters of penetration with standard AP, 325 with premium AP, and 90 with high explosive. So not bad, once again, penetration-wise. High penetration AP round, very, very snazzy. 15.5 second reload time, giving it 2516 DPM. So roughly, let's say 350 extra DPM in this vehicle compared to the Tier 8. Quite a step up, I would say. Aiming time 2.6 seconds. Accuracy. Aiming time is longer, but the accuracy is better. 2.6 second aiming time and 0.34 dispersion. Minus 7 degrees of gun depression, 15 elevation, and it has a slightly more limited gun turning arcs. Minus 10 to the left, minus 10 to the right. 28 degrees per second, once again, and 40 shells. Okay, so the firepower, a lot bigger punch, quite a bit more DPM, and better accuracy, seems to be. And it seems to have like a smaller superstructure, but the overall vehicle design looks the same. It looks like they made the superstructure smaller and they moved it to the very rear of the vehicle. So it is like, let's say, Object 268 version 4 with the rear turreted gun or, you know, superstructure, because it's just one full body over here, right? So this is how the gun looks like on Hori 1. Moving on to the mobility. Maximum forward speed 32 km per hour, reverse speed 16. It is going to have 900 horsepower engine with 15 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio and 34 degrees per second hull rotation speed. Once again, I would say bang in the middle, kinda average mobility, not great, not terrible. Survivability 1800 hit points, so extra 400 hit points compared to the Tier 8. 240 frontal armor, so extra frontal armor as well, but once again we need to see where it is. 240, does it have more on the superstructure, how is the gun mantlet, how is the lower plate, like how it is looking like. For all that, we have to wait and see. View range 390 meter view range, and oh yeah, by the way, it has the same problem with the hull armor. Sides 50 and the rear 50, and same crew layout: commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and 2 loaders. So this is the Hori 1. And finally, moving on, finally talking about detector vehicles, because after this let's look at the premium tank as well. But the cherry on the top of the tech tree has a massive looking boomstick, Hori 3. Tier 10 Japanese tank destroyer. It has completely different hull shape. It doesn't have the extra, you know, like stair steps anymore. It has angled frontal blade. It seems to be a lot thicker. It's the gun seems to be a lot bigger, even though it only has extra 50 millimeters of armor. I wonder if the Tier 9 has a wrong gun model in the picture, had wrong gun model in the picture, because this gun on Hori 3 for 50 extra alpha damage looks completely different. And the gun handling is kind of similar to the Tier 9. So the Tier 10 Hori 3 is going to have 700 alpha damage with AP round. It once again has 2 AP rounds, or 900 with high explosive. Standard AP has 305 millimeters of penetration, almost the best penetration for the standard round in the game. But the premium AP has 360, and if I'm not mistaken, guys, this is the best AP penetration in the game. AP ammunition type penetration in the game, and I love AP round normalization and all that. It's in most situations I would prefer it over APCR, for example, but APCR has that beautiful shell velocity. I don't know the shell velocity numbers of the Hori 3 right now, but if they do not suck, this is actually very scary. That 360 penetration AP is very scary, or 90 millimeters with high explosive. And with this DPM and reload time, it has 15.3 second reload time. not DPM, with this alpha and reload time combination, it is going to have 2745 DPM, so extra 200, roughly 30 DPM compared to the tier 9. So 15.3 second reload time, 2.5 second aiming time, 0.34 accuracy. Minus 7 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of gun elevation. Once again, it has 10 degrees gun traverse limits to the left and to the right side. 28 degrees traverse speed and 40 shells it can carry. So, quite the firepower. I mean, when I say that, I mean that when you are going to fire this gun, you are usually going to penetrate, I would say. Especially with the premium AP round, which is kind of an interesting take. You know, the entire Tech 3 line has the same shell types, AP and premium AP. Nothing crazy, nothing complicated over here. Mobility. 35 top speed, 18 moving backwards, so definitely the fastest tank in the Tech 3 line. 1000 horsepower engine, specific power 15.2, 36 hull rotation speed or hull traverse speed, which is actually kinda good, I would say. So this mobility, average plus, I would say, tiny touch above average for the turretless tank destroyers. Right. Survivability, 2000 hit points, 300mm thick frontal hull armor, 35 on the sides though, 35 in the rear as well. So 300mm makes it one of the best, one of the better frontal armors. If this 300mm is also in the frontal plate, is in the upper plate, well, nothing can penetrate the upper plate unless you face hug it and use your gun depression to, you know, devalue the armor value and just, you know, smack premium rounds into it. But on a flat ground from some kind of distance, I would say the upper plate is going to be impenetrable. But now the question is, how thick is the superstructure? If the superstructure is 300 as well, then people are just going to treat this tank like Jagdpanzer E100. When they see superstructure, they simply dab the 2 key and your armor loses all the values. But the 35 side, holy moly, like more than half of the high explosive rounds this tank is going to see on the battlefield are able to penetrate the side. And it has that beautiful, just flat, no spaced armor side superstructure as well. Nothing crazy over there, no bumps, just slick, you know, clean side for you to hit. So definitely have to watch out for that. 400 meters view range and same crew setup, 6 crew members as all the previous vehicles, which is very, very welcomed for a change that you do not have to start, let's say, from tier 8 training your radio operator, and in tier 10, let's say, you do not have radio operator anymore, which means now your commander or some other crew member has to do the situational awareness skill, which you definitely would like to have. So this is the Japanese tank destroyer Tech 3 coming to the game. Nobody knows when exactly, but it is under quite a heavy testing. They are releasing more and more information about those vehicles, and I know so many of you were expecting to see or were looking forward to seeing Japanese tank destroyers in the game. So let me know, guys, what do you think about that? Is it exciting enough for you? I can personally tell the tier 10 looks the most exciting for me, especially the AP rounds, the high penetration AP rounds. I would love to test it out for sure. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And finally, as I promised, a quick look at the premium tank as well, Type 5 Kari, previously known as Hoto. So I did some paint tuning for you over here on this file, for example. And this is quite a bit different vehicle. This is what I would love to see in this entire Tech 3 actually, because this tank comes with 2 different alpha damage numbers on its AP rounds. It has 500 alpha damage AP round, which is already 100 more than the Tech 3 one, right? Or 570 alpha damage. This is like the same treatment like on the SU-100Y, for example. 630 alpha damage with the high explosive round as well. So you have 500 alpha damage, 265 penetration, or you lose 35 millimeters of penetration, but you gain alpha damage over here. So two types of rounds to choose from, two types of AP rounds to choose from. Basically, depending on the target, you need more penetration, you need more damage. You know, depends on the situation, and the DPM is so much better as well. Your DPM with where is it? With the 500 and the standard AP round is 2400, which is better than the Tech 3 one. But if you load in the 570 alpha damage, your DPM is 2750, which is quite crazy, guys, actually. 570 alpha as well. And also, it already received the aiming time improvements, aiming time down to 1.92 seconds, and it received 10 extra shells as well. Survivability was also tuned a bit, as you can see. HP made weaker quite a bit. This is quite a big nerf, actually. Minus 150 hit points from 1.4k down to 1250. But at the same time, the sight was buffed from 30 to 50, and same goes to the rare armor from 30 to 50. So, Type 5 Carry Premium Tank, which most likely we are going to receive first. What do you think about this one as well? It would be interesting if we get like the entire Tech 3 with this type of shell treatment, just to test it out, right? This type of not like shell treatment or alpha damage treatment for two AP rounds. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this was my today's video for you. I hope you keep enjoying your weekend. Now you have been informed about one of the new upcoming Tech 3 lines, which is coming into the game, I would say in a couple months, maybe. I hope you enjoyed. Keep enjoying your weekend. I catch you next time with something else. Stay awesome, beautiful, sexy, naked. Take care and bye.